Express, which used motion capture and computer graphics to produce an animation whose characters looked almost human, received a critical panning. One reviewer suggested its characters were so frightening the film should be subtitled The Night of the Living Dead. The difference lay in that one crucial word, almost. Workers in the field refer to the perceptual crevasse which separates acceptable caricature from accurate representation as the uncanny valley, and the Polar Express fell right into it. Mapping the uncanny valley to avoid its perils would be of great benefit to filmmakers. It would also, as robots become smart and safe enough for use outside factories, help engineers to design plastic pals who are truly fun to be with. Though several previous expeditions have been lost in the valley, there is no shortage of volunteers to have another go. The latest pair to harness up the metaphorical huskies are Chin Chang-ho and Carl McDorman of the Indiana University School of Informatics. They think they can find their way by following a new compass direction, the quality of eeriness. The idea of the uncanny valley was originally proposed by Masahiro Mori, a Japanese roboticist in 1970. Though he had no hard data, his intuition was that increasing humanness in a robot was positive only up to a certain point. Dr. Mori drew a graph with human likeness on the horizontal axis and a quality he called Shinwakan, variously translated as familiarity and comfort level, on the vertical one. As an object or image looks and behaves more like a human, the viewer's level of Shinwakan increases. Beyond a certain point, however, the not quite human object strikes people as creepy, and Shinwakan drops. This is the uncanny valley. Only when the object becomes almost indistinguishable from a human does Shinwakan increase again. Dr. Ho and Dr. McDorman accept the general idea, but they began by throwing out the idea of Shinwakan. In their study, just published in Computers in Human Behavior, they say that Dr. Mori's ideas of familiarity and comfort level do not properly get at the quality of uncanniness. Neither do some suggested alternatives, such as warmth and likability. The Wicked Queen in Disney's Snow White, for instance, was hardly likable, but she was not uncanny either. To isolate the factors that really affect how people feel about simulacra, the two researchers rounded up several hundred undergraduates and showed them 10 video clips, 5 of robots and 5 of animations. These included sequences from The Polar Express, The Incredibles, and also an animation of Orville Redenbacher, an American businessman who died in 1995, but many people think falls right at the bottom of the valley. The robots were the Roomba, a disc-shaped autonomous vacuum cleaner, and 4 anthropoid machines of varying degrees of humanness. The volunteers were asked to apply ratings from dozens of scales to each video, machine-like to human-like, synthetic to real, and so on. Scales that turned out to measure the same qualities with different words were eliminated, and the researchers eventually lighted on 19 that described aspects of 4 underlying qualities that they dubbed attractiveness, eeriness, humanness, and warmth. According to Dr. McDorman, all 4 are important qualities for designers. A robot that exhibits warmth and attractiveness would be easier to interact with than one that looks cold and ugly. Only 2 of them, however, are needed to explain the uncanny valley. These are humanness and eeriness. Eeriness is not quite the same thing as comfort, likability, or even strangeness. Levels of eeriness indicate objects including ordinary supernatural, always shocking, and unexpected.
The glaciers in the southeastern part of the plateau, by contrast, are downwind of the Indian subcontinent. And Dr. Xu found that the concentration of soot in those glaciers went up by 30% between 1990 and 2003, coinciding with a period of rapid industrial growth in India. The worry is not that the Himalayan glaciers will disappear, despite a foolish mistake in a report by the International Panel on Climate Change suggesting that this might happen.